stumps on day two. Day two of the India-New Zealand test match, and the lead that New Zealand have got is 301 with 5 wickets remaining and a mountain of a task.
Are you sure it's day 2?
It is
day
day
2
2.
was only ended because you've had just 1/4 of the game approximately left.
And you've got 3 innings. That's the nature of the wicket that you're in. But before we come to the game, there is another huge game that is happening just about 100 meters away. There is a certain interdepartmental side that is competing at the highest level in basketball.
Yeah.
And when you came, the scoreline was a tie. So we are heading into 2019 World Cup.
Yeah.
We are going into the 2019 World Cup situation.
When he comes, I hope he gets the good news.
Well, let's see. Well, jeetega to India hi at this point in time, if that is the case, because one person wins, it's from India, the other one's also from India. So jeetega to
What do
India
you have
hi.
to say about the team playing in Pune?
See, the fantasy that you have created in Noida is different from what is the bitter, harsh reality in Pune. Because they may have to climb the Sayadris
Oh, that's a good one.
to ensure that India pull off something spectacular here. Because at the end of the day, today you have seen a total of 14 wickets fall. 9 wickets of the Indians and 5 for the Kiwi batters.
Total of 25 wickets have fallen across the 2 days of the match.
Across 2 days, and out of the 25, Washington Sundar has taken 11 of them.
Yes.
And it's been a case of 2 guys making a comeback at the highest stage. Washington Sundar 7 for 59, Mitchell Santner 850 plus overs bowled. He's taken a 5 wicket haul for the first time.
Only behind?
Only where Intikhab Alam, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Intikhab Alam took 870 overs, I think, to get to 5 wickets. He's taken 862. Man, oh man, this is simply sensational. So that's why
This is horses for courses.
301 is the target, 301 for 5 at this point in time. New Zealand will definitely want to bat another 1.5 sessions and stretch the lead to 400 and put the game beyond India's doubt. Okay,
Now,
reach.
I have a question for both of you.
All right.
So, Gautam Gambhir said this thing before the start of the match that we want to be a team that is able of scoring 400 or 500 in a day or even bat 2 days to save a test. What's going to be your strategy come tomorrow?
Neither of the options are available for the Indian team now because more than 2 days are left.
आप चाहें तो quit कर सकते हैं.
More than 2 overs are left and the target is definitely going to be more than 400. So
Yeah.
either of the 2 options aren't accessible anyways.
See.
So it doesn't really matter.
His particular quote failed the test in Pune.
Yeah.
In Bengaluru, sorry. In Pune, it might be amplified even more because see, you can score 400, but for that you need to prepare a good pitch.
Yeah.
Isn't it? The pitch at this point in time, it's turning square. Let's make no mistake. Whatever we want to sugarcoat it, this is a rank turner.
When New Zealand were bowling, it was actually turning square a lot.
Yeah.
Now, since the time Indian bowlers have come on to bowl, I just feel that it's turning a little less.
But Jadeja dispelled that notion. Look at the last 2 overs that he bowled. It was turning, pitching on leg, going way past off.
But did he learn from Santner?
No, he didn't learn from Santner. He wasn't modifying the speed. He wasn't modifying the length. It was too short, so the batters could get away with it. But see, let us focus this day because this might be the day when you are staring at potentially one of the most disastrous consequences that this generation probably has never experienced. We both experienced it a long time back because 12 years is a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And now in October 2024, are we looking at that possibility?
I experienced it, England 2012.
You experienced
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You were in school at that time. No?
I was 11, not even 11.
You were 10, 11, but then we all were starting.
But I've also seen the World Cup winner, so I was avidly watching cricket. By then.
Only Siddharth was, I think, working at that time, and I
Yeah.
was in the second year of my college.
Of course. And I had the privilege to cover that.
Oh,
Yes.
you were at the stadium?
Not at the stadium, at ball by ball text commentary.
Oh, nice.
And it was a masterclass. I mean, let us be very honest about it. That England team were number one for a reason. They had lot of match winners in their side. Alistair Cook, you had Monty Panesar, you had Graham Swan, you had Kevin
The
Peterson.
two, Graham Swan and Monty Python.
Especially Graham Swan.
Yeah.
England's decline began the moment Swan retired. Because all your other pacers, they feeded upon Swan's ability to generate pressure. He went, everything collapsed. Here, this New Zealand team did not have Kane Williamson. Their best player by a country mile. Mitchell Santner was making a comeback after ages. Glenn Phillips did not have that much of experience.
They just changed the skipper. They just changed their skipper.
Yeah.
Yes, from a 2-0 loss, whitewash in Gaul to Sri Lanka, to now scripting an earthquake which could go off the Richter scale in world cricket. It could happen.
The skipper is more of a lucky charm for them. You know,
Yeah.
he even captained them in a few matches in the ODI World Cup last year. And guess what happened?
They
England
won
And
most
how
of them.
beautifully did he actually bat?
Yes.
He was sublime today, Tom Latham. And I think the other guy who's complimented him very well for a brief period was Will Young and then Tom Blundell. These three guys have ensured that there is no collapse of a huge order, and that is why now you've now at 198 for 5, still scoring at a decentish rate of close to 4.
And
3.5.
everyone has a good, healthy strike rate, and that's it.
Yeah, everybody's got a good strike rate, barring Blundell. You've got Santner, who's a good bat. You've got Saudi, who can tonk. And you're staring definitely 350. Unless you lose 5 wickets for 20-30 runs
That's a
tomorrow.
different thing then.
But you're definitely looking at 350 and you're looking at even 400 if these two survive. Now, the first star today, none of our Indian batters wanted to survive. The way how New Zealand tackled spin today, and look at how India tackled spin. Now, let us focus on the Indian batting because that's going to be your major talking point.
Exactly.
Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, Sarfraz, your bulk of the middle order, and also Rishabh Pant. Rishabh Pant uncharacteristically playing back to a delivery that shooted through low. Okay, maybe a rare failure might come good in the second innings, maybe in a winning cause or a lost cause, I don't know. Kohli, everybody is now telling that this is the worst shot that he's ever played in his career. The way how he got out, and I think we have got a confirmation. Okay, so in a way, when you look at it, we are going to focus upon Kohli very shortly, and I think you won the match, I think, coming through. So, these three.
Yeah.
First, Kohli. The most horrible shot that he's ever played in his career.
First, everyone wants to have.
Okay, congratulations
Thank you.
on making it to the final and winning it.
You have won it.
Wonderful. In a tiebreaker. In a then straight. Nice.
Second half also.
Second half.
First
I thought
half
you
was
gave us a thing that was equal.
First half.
First half.
First half was
How
equal.
much? 2-all?
Yeah.
No, first half was 2-1 we were leading.
It was 2-all. That basket that person played directly when he got that foul. That made it 2-all.
We
Then
won
second
7-4.
half. Yeah.
7-4. Never in doubt.
What do we get is what I want to know. Nobody's telling me.
What do you want?
Trophy definitely.
I would want some cash prize so we can all have a party.
Cash
Oh,
prize is for the
that's
fittest
nice.
team overall.
Which we'll win because you won the...
Pickle.
No, he
No,
was
te-
in the semi-final.
Technically, sports won, no pickle? Who won?
No. They lost. They also
Acha, they
lost.
lost.
Yeah, they lost.
But
Yeah.
we were also there in the semi-finals. They were in the final.
No, only winners will be counted.
No, he
So
lost
you-
in the semi-final.
No, but
No,
you
even
won
they
tug
also-
of war,
Tug
won
of war also
basketball.
they won.
Tug of war they won. Basketball. If you won 2 discipline, then there's no
Wall
other.
climbing also we have worse in the
Ah,
top
so
10.
maybe.
Sunny in the wall climbing bit. Nice.
Okay. Sorry, you continue. I'll do one there.
Yeah.
So we're catching the breath and then
Talking about India's middle order.
muddle order or lack of
Muddle
it in
order,
this
yeah.
particular test match because firstly Virat Kohli. Do you all agree
We
that?
have to go back there. There's a message on the group.
Acha, okay.
Okay. So the most horrible shot that he's ever played in his career to get out. Gulati?
Maybe if I have to, I think just jog my memory back, I can probably remember of an instance where he wherein he did try to attempt a pull, but then there was obviously no nick at that time. That was against Pakistan in the 2019 World Cup final. Not a poor shot, but a poor judgment at that particular point of time. But then
2019?
World Cup.
2019 World Cup against Pakistan, wherein he tried to pull Mohammad.
I'm talking about test matches.
Yeah, definitely, hands down. I cannot remember any instance wherein he probably would have left a ball which was angling in into his off stump, and that could have rigged it up. But then, to be very honest, I think yes, it is his horrible dismissal. But what I'm not really able to understand is that why hasn't the issue of Kohli struggling against spin been not addressed? Now, this is something that I fail to understand. In the morning discussion also, we were discussing, we were having a chat about the fact that he's gotten out to pace about 30 times in the last 3-4 years or so, and to spin
Since 2020.
But yeah, and why we are primarily highlighting the troubles against spin, I think it's probably because of the nature of those dismissals. Against pace, he has at least scored those runs, those boundaries, sixes, and all those utility knocks have come. But then if you look at the conditions, he has not just struggled against the best of the lot when it comes to the spin departments of all the teams. It's been the case with the likes of more of the part-timers who were there in other teams also. Like there's a certain Moeen Ali, obviously he took more than 200 wickets for England, but then more often than not, we always treated Moeen Ali as someone who is a batter who can bowl a bit. Then there were others also. So what I don't understand here is that why the issue wasn't addressed, because what's happening here, it is obviously a colossal failure. But then what do you do after this test, assuming India lose? Do you leave him out?
No, you don't leave him out, but then we'll come to that question. But do you think that was the most?
No, but I predicted Babar Azam to be left out. So
You're predicting Virat to be left
No,
out.
I'm not predicting
If
anything.
he's dropped, the one to be
No, I never did that.
What
I
about
never
it?
did
So,
that.
See, I'll be very honest. I don't think that it's the worst dismissal that has ever happened to him, and I'll tell you why. Because I think it's just seeming how it actually looks like. It definitely looks really, really not pleasing to the eye, absolutely. But again, this is a mistake that has been happening since a very long time, and I'm not surprised on this. I think the worst dismissal would be when he's chasing the ball outside of stump. Was it the Bangladesh first test match?
Yeah.
Nahid
well, he's done it a lot of times. He did it to Mone Mokal also. He's
That time
done
he
it.
chased the very far away off delivery ball. So I think that was
Scott Boland.
Scott Boland, and that kind of form Scott
My
Boland is
only
in right
point
now.
is that this dismissal accompanied with the Scott Boland one is going to stay in your memory for a long time. This dismissal specifically.
The problem is, I've done the video. You can check it out on Sports Today about 23 dismissals. It's not as if he's struggling against one particular spin. It's off spin and leg spin, left arm spin. He's struggling against both. Now, look at the names that I'm going to rattle out to you. A Santner, a Moeen Ali, a Taijul Islam, a Mehdi Hassan,
Glenn Phillips.
Glenn Phillips. Are those world-renowned spinners who could intimidate any opposition on the given day?
That's my point. They are pretty much the batters who can bowl a bit.
This is no, except for Taijul.
Yeah, obviously.
Except for Taijul.
Obviously.
But look at it. This is the problem. The only proper spinner, the GOAT who's there in spin at this point in time is Nathan Lyon.
But do you kind of see one similarity in all the names that you took? Or none of them is a great turner of the ball in that sense?
Yes, except for
All of them
Nathan
are
Lyon.
straight. Even Nathan Lyle, for that matter, as in front of Virat Kohli, he tries to bowl those straight on deliveries much more.
He bowls straight, but then he's also got
Yeah,
Kohli
yeah,
out
yeah.
LBW with an off spinner also.
Yeah.
And on top of that, as I said, Adelaide 2014, great knock, exceptional innings. But he was not the same after that, because he knew that he could have given India a famous win in the chase of 364. They fell short of 48 runs. That shot which he played put the demons at, yes, I cannot go for the sweep shot anymore. I can't play the lofted shot against spin anymore. It might result in India losing the game. Number one. Then, I don't know, inexplicably, why he cut out the sweep. Because he was sweeping in Adelaide well. Why did he cut down on the sweep after COVID? That is one. Until 2019, none of these weaknesses came out. But as they say, from a big high, you have to come down to the low. Everybody is now exploiting it.
Yeah.
Mehdi Hassan, for example, Taijul, for example, exploited it. Even you look at it, Moeen Ali, the one who actually found that gap through the thing was Moeen Ali.
Yeah.
Todd Murphy, Matthew Kuhneman, when you look at it. They are not going to be very intimidating spinners that will destroy oppositions. Straight deliveries, I do agree, but he's misjudging the length.
Yeah.
Today, the Santner dismissal was a misjudgment of the length. He stayed back, he gave a bit of room, so the ball drifted in, but suddenly dipped, and he went for that across the line. And again, always when Virat Kohli is playing across the line nowadays, he struggles.
All over the place.
Look, for example, when he wanted to flick it to the leg side, what happened? He would play across plumb LBW. Bumrah exploited that weakness a lot more. This is a huge problem because now he's getting beaten even in the length.
Yes.
Kohli, a guy who's a length player, who judges the ball and tries to decide on the shot on the length of the delivery, he's now struggling. So, sweep gone, lofted shot gone, dancing down the wicket gone, length gone, how do I play spin? Systematically it is breaking down. Yes, I agree, there will be a spurt. He might do well in the second innings.
Yeah.
But what if the problem against spin continues?
It has continued.
It will, what, another one more year, what if it happens?
No, India cannot afford it. It's as simple as that. You might, I'm not saying that, you might have to look past a certain Rohit Sharma or a Virat Kohli just because they're not in form, but then there have to be some drastic measures that have to be taken. Assuming India lose this test match, you can still pull off a miracle. That's still possible. I'm not going to deny that. But then what are the steps that you possibly would want to take so as to make sure that these kind of things don't really happen? That India now, if they lose a test series now, then it should not happen at least for the next 5 to 10 odd years, or maybe at least more than that. So how do you do that? Go back to domestic cricket. Play first class cricket. It's as simple as that, because that's where you're going to iron out your flaws. That is the place where it's all going to happen.
Now, coming on to that, okay?
You have to take out time for it.
Again, I'll come to that. You can, Shashwat, your turn will come after I ask this question. You talked about domestic.
Yeah.
Sarfaraz. Now, Sarfaraz looked clueless. In that entire 24 balls that he was there, barring one ball, he was clueless.
It's just one innings on a turning track. I'm going to talk about
Okay.
Sarfaraz in the second innings. What if he scores 100 in that?
Fine, but what if he fails? Now we are looking at that practical scenario.
We can have
okay?
a different
But again, I think
discussion.
it's
in this,
going after the weakest in that sense. In that sense, that it's only Sarfaraz who hasn't sort of cemented his place in that sense in the team. That's why we are talking about him. But none of the batters, to be honest.
none
looked
of the
as
batters. But see, again, I'm talking about a domestic angle. Sarfaraz has come on the back of great domestic numbers.
Yeah.
But did he ever play on these kind of wickets? Number one. Number two, did he encounter that much of spin, that quality of spin in domestic cricket? Because until the diktat was given in 2024, everybody was willing to just play the IPL. Your domestic numbers can get inflated looking at the conditions that were on offer to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Those conditions were either too flat, did not assist spin that much, and that is why this is an alarming trend. If India would have collapsed against the likes of Shane Warne, Muttaya Muralidharan, Anil Kumble, Harbhajan Singh and all of them, then I can agree that yes, they are quality spinners. They took the pitch out of the equation. But here, even part-timers and spinners who have not come back after 3 years are troubling you. Huge cause of concern. So that is why, looking at this entire situation, domestic cricket, if Sarfaraz doesn't have a good second innings, then questions will even be asked about your domestic system. What do you say? I mean, is the domestic system now also been corrupted because what has happened with all these years of IPL exploitation?
Pretty
No,
much.
I don't think so that Sarfaraz has a problem playing spin.
Even
Even
I
though
also
he's
feel
gotten
that.
out here, but Sidvi sir, somebody who has gotten 1,000 runs back to back, not 1,000, I'm just rounding it off, close to 1,000 runs on consecutive years, that to a middle order batter. It's not possible that he cannot play spin well. However, whatever the quality of the spinners in domestic
Quality
cricket,
of pitches. Quality of pitches.
also, but Sidvi sir, at the end of the day, these are subcontinental wickets. Third day, fourth day, they do start to spin, and Sarfaraz came lower down the order for Mumbai. So I cannot believe this, that he is somebody who cannot play well, and even same for Rishabh Pant, I'd say. Even Rishabh Pant, while he played domestic cricket, he's got big runs for the Delhi side. He has a triple century in first class cricket. So I think same goes for him. But as far as Virat is concerned, it's been so long now. That
12 years.
12 years. No, not just domestic cricket. I'm talking about not being able to play spin well. He really needs to do something about it. Now, what is that thing that could be done? If ask me, if I need to say something, I think if he starts to use his feet more, just look at Tom Latham, the way he he used the pitch, the way he was stepping out on every delivery against R. Ashwin, against Washington Sundar. That just shows that you need to nullify. What's the issue? The issue is that you don't know now. After pitching, will it stay straight or will it come in or will it go out? Don't let that situation come. Just go on the pitch of the ball and just nudge it for a single, for a double, or play your big shots also. That is also fine, but at least try doing that, because Virat since very long hasn't been able to do that. He's definitely found other ways to score runs. He has found ways to make the team win. But now the only issue is that when other things are not working, then the things that have been ignored for so long will automatically be the point of talking about.
Then what does he do? Because now he will not play domestic for another year. He's going to the BGT. So until
Domestic
January,
players
he's
do
gone.
not expect him to.
Okay. Then how will he rectify it? It's now, I think, gone past him. The rectification. He will, whatever he achieves from this point in time now, will all be down to the last ounces of pure skill that he's got. He can't go back and rectify. That is now given because the chance was there this time. There was a window where he could have done it. There was a window. He didn't do it. All our Indian stars, barring Yashasvi, Shubman, Sarfaraz, all of them, Pant, barring all of them, rest, where did they play? The batters, I'm saying, rest, where did they play domestic? Our two stalwarts never played domestic cricket. Rohit last played in 2016. Kohli's last played in 2012. Domestic cricket at this point in time, there is a very dark underbelly there also. Because all your stars suddenly decide to take domestic cricket seriously now, in the last 1 year or 8 months, if I may add. Prior to that, why did they take it seriously?
It also depends on the fact that is Virat ready to accept this as a weakness?
No, he won't.
That also.
He won't. There are certain players who will
Somebody
not.
needs to talk to him about this, that this is a problem and this needs to be rectified. It could be anybody, whoever.
Who will
he
bell the
trusts,
cat?
Whoever, exactly.
I've asked this question.
Somebody who is close to him, somebody whose advice he takes.
Whose advice he takes? All these years, did he take anybody's advice? If it was, see.
No, I can remember one instance when he really did that, when he was struggling in England against that moving ball. He did have a couple of sessions with Sachin Tendulkar when he returned to Mumbai.
Yeah.
And that was the time he did.
That was it.
He has said that he's open for advices. Everyone has his number. Anyone can call him and tell him.
Now, 10 years later, what's happening? Because this is the most prolonged slump he's had. I mean, 4 years. Let's please not say 2023. We know under which circumstances he got 55. But then we know the conditions, we know everything. Peak Virat would never have taken conditions into the question. He would have scored anywhere irrespective. Now the problem is, and also in the domestic setup, if India lose the series, okay, if it happens, let's wait until day 4 for that.
Yeah.
Maybe it will go till day 4. Then even your domestic has to be questioned, because you can't cherry pickle and also just choose. Arey nahi yaar, ye saal.
Because of one person getting failed, we cannot question the whole domestic.
No, Sarfaraz also.
No, I'm
everybody.
Who else has played domestic cricket since?
Yashasvi's played. Shubman's played.
Shubman's also been a while since he played.
But
Yashasvi recently.
But Shubman also played Duleep.
I'm not counting Duleep here. I'm just counting a full-fledged season in that.
Then how can anybody play? That's the problem. Your calendar, you can't play full-fledged domestic cricket.
It's not about playing full season of a Ranji Trophy or a Deodhar Trophy for that matter. The point is, you must make sure to play about 2 or 3 matches there. See, I am obviously no coach. I cannot tell Virat Kohli how you have to iron out your flaws or how you have to go about things. My only point is that whatever cricket that we all have studied or covered, what we can definitely say is that when you struggle in the international arena, what's the first thing that you do as a batter or a bowler also? You go back to your basics. And what do you do? What do I mean by when I say you go back to your basics? You go back to domestic cricket. You go back to working with the coaches which you had worked with earlier in your recent past, for that matter, in the last 10 years or so. That's what I think the players probably are missing, and that's where you see a lot of weaknesses of both Rohit and Kohli are being highlighted. And if I have to say something for the social media fans, they are pretty much focused on KL Rahul. That's it.
No, that's exactly what I was.
There are bigger issues.
But that's exactly what I was also trying to tell you earlier in the previous show that we did. That Virat needs to go back to ground zero, and I think everyone might at this point would be just complicating it for Virat, whereas it could be very, very simple. The solution of the whole thing could be very simple, and maybe nobody is going to that solution because everyone thinks that if it's Virat, the problem would definitely be a little complicated.
Yeah.
For that's a very basic, somebody who's known Virat since the beginning should step in and talk to him about this. But do you expect Virat, even if Virat goes back to the Ranji Trophy dressing room, in that dressing room, in the Delhi dressing room, at this point you have Sarandeep Singh, you have a couple of more people. Do you expect them to point this out to Virat Kohli? Just having Virat Kohli in that dressing room would be a very, very big thing for the whole Delhi side in that sense. But do you expect anyone, a Sarandeep Singh in that sense, to stand up and tell Virat that you're not playing spinners right? This is the thing that you need to change.
I'll just quote Siddharth Vishwanathan here. We had a chat, a couple of hours back, and he said a brilliant thing. We were talking about David Warner. Like I was basically saying that, what's the point of lifting his leadership ban now? Any which ways he's not playing for Australia, he's going to play for Sydney Thunder only. Just having a discussion. And then he's like, credit has to go to Cricket Australia because they did not really get into the shell of a star culture. That's it. I'm
Now,
going to end it here.
okay.
Yeah.
See, you're
Maybe
talking
they
about
might
going.
come back for Australia.
Okay, who you're saying Virat should go to Ranji? Assuming, okay. After November 5,
Yeah.
how many matches are Delhi playing in the Ranji? After November 5 until November 20, November 21.
I think just two
one,
matches.
one or two, yeah.
Because
the
after
second leg
November
of Ranji
17th,
Trophy is
there's going to
later.
be a lull.
Okay, one or two games.
Total
Right?
you'll have the white ball tournament
Yeah.
first.
Okay,
and then-
one or two.
The red ball lull. Yeah.
India are leaving to Australia potentially by the 12th or the 13th or the 14th of
Yeah.
this thing. So basically gets only one game, isn't it? How practical? How practical? When you had a 40-day period, you didn't do anything there. You're expecting a 1-week period to ensure that he comes back into domestic. This is crazy thinking. In this culture of the Indian cricket team, it's outlandish to even think that for a guy who didn't do anything for 43 days, suddenly because, we are pointing out certain flaws in the Indian setup and also your ability to play against spin, he'll go to Ranji for one match and risk getting burnt out for Australia. That's not happening, my friend. That is not at all happening because from now till from November 5 till November 21, you only have a 16-day gap. Out of that, you'll go to Australia, you'll acclimatize there.
You'll have a
Intra-squad game
also.
Okay. Perth will be miles apart from what you are dishing out in Pune. Perth, Adelaide, Brisbane will be miles apart from what you dish out in Pune and Mumbai. How will you do the mental and technical adjustment there also?
Yeah.
This is the major issue. And always remember, in these 2 decades, you won the first test in the Sena country only twice. Only twice. Adelaide was won in 2018, but you didn't play the pink ball. And in Centurion, where a KL Rahul 100 rescued you.
Yeah.
Okay. Here, even Rohit Sharma, there has been only 1 year that I can recollect where Rohit was good in both Test and ODI and T20I. That was 2019. He was at his brilliant best in that all 3 formats in that 1 year. But yesterday itself it was pointed out. Rohit, if his white ball form dips, his Test form rises.
Yeah.
Now his Test form is in tatters, his white ball form is also great. World Cup almost when you look at, but even now, he's sacrificing all those great knocks. 192 that he made against Australia in that T20 World Cup. But apart from that, was his form great? No. It was a plateau. We are only looking at 192, which ensured that, India dumped Australia out of the competition. Apart from that, ODIs against Sri Lanka, he had great starts, but he failed to capitalize. T20Is, he didn't play, he's retired. Here, in all the 3 innings, when you look at it, Bangalore, second innings, unlucky, he defended, got 1 ball, and then it rolled back onto the sun, where I thought he should have anyway kicked it out. He was that.
Yeah.
I think he was too slow in reacting.
Yes. Second innings.
Here, he was undone by a pitch. But then is that an excuse? No. A guy with a better technique could have done that a little better. Rohit, if the outswinger doesn't get you, the inswinger gets
At
you.
least it could have been an outside edge.
Rohit has not scored more runs than KL Rahul. But he makes it because he's the captain.
Yep.
No, Sidney sir, it's also about the approach, and in that Bangladesh game also he started off with those 2 sixes. I think it's more than the runs. I think it's more than the runs. It's about the impact you're leaving.
Wow. So now this is what we are coming into, clutching to straws that Rohit hit 2 sixes to set the template.
I'm saying the comparison with
I
KL
think
Rahul is a
what
little too
Balla
much.
means is that first of all there is no comparison.
Yeah.
Second of all, Rohit has been slightly more consistent than
Yeah.
KL Rahul in Test cricket, and more importantly, what he means here is that when you know that you might have to go for a win, knowing that there is only 1 or 1.5 days remaining in a Test. What set the platform for India was obviously those couple of sixes, because had you started on a very conservative note, things would have been completely different.
Okay, but the problem is, look at the attack, look at the opposition. Okay?
Yeah.
That way you have to discredit the entire thing. Because this is Bangladesh we are talking about. Bangladesh, even on this wicket, would have allowed India not 156, they would have allowed 256. Because their bowling attack is very inexperienced.
Yeah.
But New Zealand are street smart cricketers. They know that whatever resources they have, they bring out the best in those resources. And that is why they are on the cusp of achieving something which no nation's done for 12 years, although it might still not happen. It might still not happen. Some miracle might happen. A Kolkata might happen all over again. Maybe a Mohali might happen all over again.
Chennai might happen
A Chennai might happen all over again.
Yep.
But there was a reason why it has happened only once or twice. For example, we are saying, oh, India should score 550 and get New Zealand to 206. What if? Boss, Test cricket isn't a video game.
Yeah.
Test cricket is not something where it's, oh, you score 550 and then that's it. See, this dismissal might spark him for more. Might spark him to score 100 in the second innings. Who knows? Because Virat Kohli has got an extreme average in Pune. It's either too low or it's too high.
Exactly.
0, 17, 254 and 1. I think these are the scores that's happening at this point in time in Pune. So, lots to ponder. And again, today what was the captaincy doing? Today your captaincy was also way off the mark. So many singles. Billiards table like outfield, you're allowed easy singles to go. How awesome that is.
At least for a part in the first innings, there was some aggressive field settings when you tried to, get a certain Rachin Ravindra with a flick shot. They were, those close-in fielders.
That's it.
Today, you could not see any.
Bengaluru and Pune, you've seen insipid captaincy. And this is where I think, because you allowed New Zealand, I mean, see, in the innings itself, they notched up, I think, 40 in 9 overs.
Yeah.
Game was done. Because you could not, you have to at least get them in 106 runs. You are considered a 206 run lead. You have to get the field in. And because of that, in-out kind of a field kind of might have helped. But I don't know with this Indian side. They were not getting the ball to spin that much. New Zealand were been accurate.
Yeah.
So that is why you are highlighting, no, Gulati? One particular ball, it's not spinning much. Maybe New Zealand were accurate. They didn't need the ball to spin much.
Or were they more slower through the air?
Could have been more slower through the air.
Or is it more because of the angle that a certain Mitchell Santner creates?
An angle. See, the left arm angle always has created in that sense.
Yeah.
So that is why it is a big problem that you're facing. The left arm angle plus the ball that goes away to the left-hander off spin, huge issues there. So it's not looking good at all. It's not looking good at all.
You guys can take questions whenever you want.
Yes.
We'll do a short dugout at 6:15.
Okay.
Okay. So right now you can take questions whenever you
Okay.
Just
Okay.
gotta announce it. 6:15.
Yep. So we'll just take a couple of questions now, but then don't go anywhere after this because at 6:15 we are going to do, 1 hour from now we are going to have a special dugout. Do join us for that. The entire panel will be here, all 4 of us. So do check out the dugout at 6:15 p.m. IST on how this day has transpired. So Lagavulin Speaks is saying from the US, shame on India batters, can't play spin at home and pace away. Although in pace away, yes, I would
to play plays better than playing spin in India.
But actually, see, Gulati, the thing that you had mentioned, why did India change the character of the domestic pitches after 2012? Why I mentioned 2012?
Because you lost pathetically in overseas.
4-0 in England and Australia. And that is where you said, oh, we need grassier pitches, we need this thing. Over time, you improved on pace, but then you regressed on spin. You didn't have a balance in that. Shanu Kamal is like saying, what are you talking about? For a point, leave that he's Virat. Look at his last 2 tests. He's had good knocks. Look at last 15 tests, done better than Rohit. Again, Shanu Kamal does the same mistake. Virat versus Rohit.
It's not about that.
It's not about it. Shanu Kamal, 4 years. 2020 to 2024, what has Virat done as far as spin is concerned? everybody will say, but look at 2023, 55 average. But look at under what conditions he got that. On an absolute feather bed in Ahmedabad on a very bad pitch, he got 186. Kudos to that. And he got 100 against West Indies in Dominica, if I'm not mistaken. So, it's not Rohit versus Virat all over again. We have criticized Rohit Sharma for his captaincy today. As far as Test cricket batting is concerned, impact has been there, but then even his runs are not up to the mark. Agreed. Lagavulans, please don't discuss BGT and WTC. New Zealand beat you at home ever. But then we have to discuss that because
waiting for that WTC final.
Even if India lose this series, they would still be in contention for the WTC.
They are in
Will be
contention.
till the only 4 tests aren't left.
Because you need 4 wins or 3 wins and a draw. And it will begin from Mumbai, but then you are expecting 2 or 3 wins in Australia with this form that you are in. Could happen. Good luck. Sharan, I know everybody is going after Indian cricket team for this performance. Very true, but common. They have been really good over time, but they will at least be one blip in a decade. Law of averages will catch up. Sharan's copied me. Because I had said somewhere down the line of law of averages will catch up. For example, Australia lost a home test series after 16 years in 2008. So somewhere down the line, yes, home dominance will never ever be permanent.
Exactly.
It will happen. But we thought England or Australia could have done this. No one, cross your hearts. Did anybody expect New Zealand to do this?
No.
No, I also
After what
did not.
happened in Sri Lanka, definitely not.
Exactly. So, Pranit Datta saying, Virat Sarfaraz Pant ko Shatabdi prakarni thi kya? Pakadni thi, okay. There is anyway no Shatabdi at this point in time. There is one, but it's the Deccan Queen. They may probably want to catch the Deccan Queen.
Don't get into the technicality of the question.
Arey, Siddharth.
So, I said, no, they were wanting to catch the Deccan Queen. They wanted to catch the Deccan Queen because it's only 2 hours away, Mumbai.
Okay, we'll just take one more comment.
Yep.
Danush has a...
After 27 years, India lost an ODI series versus Sri Lanka.
Okay.
Yeah. After 27 years, India lost an ODI series with Sri Lanka. Yes, they had lost in 1997. 12 years losing home test series first time versus New Zealand, going to lose 5-0 in Australia. Welcome to Greg Chappell 2.0. Ooh, harsh.
Do you think Greg Chappell 2.0?
That's quite hard.
That's harsh.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Please. Please give it. And this is the trophy.
Can we zoom in on it also?
Of course. This is the trophy that our team members have won. It was a close affair, but not that close. 7-4 victory, and our sports team has dominated in this interdepartmental competition. So, absolutely, this trophy.
Out of the frame.
Is it?
Yeah, when you raised it up. Then.
Okay. So, this trophy has definitely come home. Okay, which we deserved it. So, congratulations, team, for a fantabulous effort. Aggressive, brutal, and glorious. You around, I know that it will be aggressive. Exactly. So, you got that Aussie mongrel mentality in you. Mamba mentality. Oh, yes.
Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
You know, it's good enough to be an Aussie.
Of course.
Compliment.
Okay. So, one more.
One more comment, Shiva.
Okay, so just to tease our dugout at 6:15, we will be asking 5 big questions after Indian team's disastrous show in Pune. What are the 5 big problems that the Indian team is facing? And will it ever be addressed? Will it be solved? All that in an action-packed dugout at 6:15 p.m. IST. It is going to be really, really hostile action-packed because today tensions are really high because of the performance that the Indian team has had. So 6:15, full house, everybody is going to just chip in with the questions and also the problems. There'll be plenty of it. 5 is too little a number, but lots of problems. So Lagavulin speaks, respect for India's batters generation and nullified Vaughan Murli. Absolutely. But to add to that, those pitches were far better. They were not rank turners.
This wicket is also somewhat like that only.
No,
this
no,
is
no,
also
no.
under this. Yeah, it's a rank turner. Yeah.
On day 2, pitching on
Yeah.
leg going past off. How can that be a good pitch? It isn't. I can understand day 4. Then yes. But this is day 2. Day 2, not day 4. So that is the problem. Rakesh Bhushan is saying VK had to simply watch last match of Sunny G in Bengaluru, of course, because of his that he's mentioned Rakesh Bhushan in the chat.
can say that.
Because of his ego, quote unquote, he won't walk to Sunny and seek his advice on playing spin. Sunny had unbreachable defense and near perfect technique. Of course, that match that Rakesh Bhushan's talking about, 96 versus Pakistan in Bengaluru 1987 on an absolute rank turner.
So I said it now that everyone has his number, anybody can call him and give him the advice.
But see, Virat has his reasons that he.
No. Everyone in the fraternity who wants to help him.
You don't need a number because he can always tune into sports.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but he's a former test cricketer. He must have his number.
But I still don't have his number.
Yes, he does,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't.
हाँ, मेरा ऐसे नहीं खेलना.
Okay. Pranit Datta, I understood. I was talking about them trying to play too many shots. Were they playing too many shots? I thought they were too defensive.
too defensive,
I was being sarcastic, not need train itinerary explanation. Nah. That's in my kida here. I want trains. Whenever I see trains, I will talk about it. So that is the way we are looking at it. So in about 50 minutes time,
We'll be back.
with the dugout. 5 big questions for the Indian cricket team after their performance in Pune. So full house, SIG 15. Check it out. You do not want to miss this dugout. Bye-bye.